Come on board and get your slice of the golden apple. Over explaining is something many people suffer from. It's one thing to actually give your side of the story. It is one thing to explain something in your own words and explain or give your experience in your own words, but it's another thing to go over and beyond to get people to understand your side of the story. People tend to over explain because they want to gain validation, because they want to maintain the status quo, and because they want to avoid conflict altogether. What happens as a result is feelings of shame, feelings of losses, so low self-esteem, feelings of anxiety and self-doubt. How does over-explaining come about? Mostly originates from our upbringing. Let me tell you something. If at this point you don't really agree with me that the fact that our upbringing, our environment, our caregivers' impact, or our caregivers' involvement in our lives have affected the kind of people that we are today, see me in person. If you grew up in an environment where you felt the need to over-explain yourself, or the need to constantly walk on eggshells because you were scared of the reaction that your caregivers or other people around you would give, or you constantly felt that if you gave just a snippet of what happened without going into detail, it would not warrant the approval and the validation that you needed. As an adult, you feel the need to constantly overcompensate and over-explain because you really want people to see you and accept and validate and get your side of the story, which sometimes is impractical, which sometimes that does not make sense, because you end up feeling ashamed, you end up feeling disappointed, you end up feeling it is such a chore to actually constantly keep talking about this and that and that. It is exhausting, and you can remember the kind of strain that this causes in relationships. Because if you are an over-explainer, you will bear me witness that it is nerve-wracking to start composing the story and hope and pray that the other person will actually accept and understand your point of view. It is frustrating. The feelings of shame that come with it, the feelings of disapproval, the feelings of disappointment that come with it it is just nerve-wracking. How can you break from this cycle of over explaining? Number one, you need to seek support. One thing that you can do is sign up for therapy. I mean, I'm also happy that you have so much information around in regards to this topic, but find a therapist, let them give you techniques of how to unlearn the schemas that are running your life in the day-to-day life. Those schemas that are in your subconscious that you think that you have solved. Those schemas that you think that you have outlearned because you're an adult, I kid you not, they are still calling the shots for you today. You need a therapist to help you go through this. You need a therapist to help you unlearn and relearn other healthy coping mechanisms, so that even when you're triggered to want to over explain yourself, then you know what to do. Number two, understand the need that you want to fulfill. Are you trying to gain control? Are you trying to gain some confidence? Are you trying to run away from conflict? Are you trying to get validation? Once you understand the need you're trying to provide for yourself, or the need you're trying to fulfill for yourself, then you will find another way to fulfill that need, so that you don't fall into the trap of over explaining or overdoing things just to fulfill that need. Remember, every behavior is need driven. So once you understand what need you're trying to fulfill, then you'll find a healthy alternative. Keep your explanations short. Keep it short and straight to the point. Uh, you don't have to keep giving narratives upon narratives upon narratives. No, you're confident in your response. You're confident in what you're saying, and that's what matters. Boundaries. I think this is a word that most of you are familiar with. Boundaries. You need to set healthy boundaries. The moment you realize that you're tempted to over explain yourself, the moment you feel that you're tempted to go over and beyond in giving an explanation, it communicates a need to set healthy boundaries, so that you know this is the far they can come, this is the much that you can take, this is the much that you can accommodate as a person. Beyond that, it's beyond your capacity to hold anything. So once you have those boundaries in place, then you'll be able to communicate them to other people. Remember, if you're assertive in your boundaries, if you communicate your boundaries, of course, in a respectful and considerate manner, the people around you will have to respect them. Like, there's no alternative. Yes. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye.